inquiry and prayer, those are both forms of meditation as well. Inquiry would be where you take a thought, you could write it down. It's usually helpful if you write it down, and then you ask yourself if it's true. When I said that truth, being, and reality were synonyms for the absolute, you could also look into whether something's true. You could also look into whether something's ultimately real, or look at whether something is fundamentally who you are. So there's being. So truth, being, and reality. So if you're inquiring into being, is who am I? Or if you have an idea about who you are, is saying, is that who I ultimately am? Who am I? What thought comes up? Look at that. Inquire, really look at it. Is it really true? Not really, not ultimately. You know, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a son, I'm a whatever. Am I attached to any ideas about who I ultimately am? When you see that none of those thoughts can really capture who you are, you'll let them go. Inquiring into reality might be questioning what's ultimately real. You know, is the world ultimately real, or is it just, like I said, a phantasmagoric array that is entertained within consciousness? I would say it's the latter, that it's not ultimately real. You become less attached to the world then. It's just an appearance. So whether you're inquiring into something's true, like a thought that you have, or whether you're looking at the world and questioning if it's real, or inquiring into who you are, those are actually all facets of the same thing. They're just useful because there are different ways of looking at it, different things you can do. And then prayer is actually a form of meditation. I've heard it said that prayer is asking for what you want, which I've already said that desires is wanting what you don't have, you know, as if God were Santa Claus and He's going to give you something. It doesn't work that way. It might appear to at times, but it's, okay, we're not in control of anything. I'm that which allows that which is to be what it is. It doesn't require control. It requires a letting go and an allowing. So in prayer, if I'm in a tough position and I have an idea, like a thought, when I was in school, when I was in college, I've talked about that. You know, I'm about to take an exam and I'm anxious about whether I'm going to pass or not. I can take the idea, I really want to do well in this exam, and it's got me, and I'm feeling that anxiety. Then I can just be with it. And the prayer is, I realize I'm wanting something, and I'm, in a sense, turning it over to God, reality, truth, that which is, whatever I want to call it, that I intuit as absolute reality, truth, and allowing, like trusting that what I need will come to me, even if it's, whatever that is. So it's actually the same thing. So prayer, the way I look at it, is you start with wanting something, a desire or an aversion. You don't want something. Make this disease go away or something like that. You wish it would be. And then it causes anxiety or fear or something, or even anger. And prayer is going into that place where you know it's not true. You trust that it's not true, that what you need will come to you. And that letting go, again, paradoxically, tends to bring you what you asked for. But it's a letting go that gives you that. It's a giving up. It's a surrender. And then trusting truth to be. That's what gives it to you. So I like to say you get by giving. You get by giving. You can see it in generosity and giving. Often it's the giving that makes us happy. It's not having and wanting and achieving and grasping. It's allowing. It's a giving. It's trusting.